Hey, welcome back to the Big Rant Show. As always, thank you for joining me. Hope you had a good Memorial Day weekend. Hope y'all had fun with your family and stuff like that. And I hope you remembered what the weekend was for. Not just about barbecuing, not just about being with your family, but about the sacrifices that some have made serving our country. But this really isn't really a pleasant story. This isn't a pleasant video to make. And in a way, it's kind of embarrassing as an American. Some Americans don't seem to think. Most people on a Facebook page don't seem to give two shits. But here we go. Between October and December of 2017, some 7,000 children came across our border with their parents. Some trying to seek asylum, some just straight coming across illegally. Not only are we separating these children from their parents, we have lost them. No, we didn't just lose a few, one or two, no. Of the 7,000 that came across our border during that time, we have misplaced almost 1,500 of these children. Now, have we, quote, lost them? No, maybe they're not lost, but we sure don't know where the hell they are. Many of these children were placed with people that were supposed to be relatives, most of them. But some of those, almost 1,500, I think it was 1,475 kids, were left, in some instances, with people that were possibly sex traffickers. And the Trump administration says we're not legally required to take care of these kids. We're not legally required to know where they are. And that is one of the most lame excuses I have seen from the Trump administration yet. It's disgusting. It's a complete miscarriage of justice for these children. Now, I understand that, if they're coming here illegally and they're going through due process, yes, kids may end up getting separated from their parents. My biggest issue is the ACLU report shows that children were being taken away from parents who were seeking asylum too, and separated from their children, from their parents, and then dropped to people sometimes they didn't even know. And some of these children, like I said, being left to sex offenders or people that potentially are sex traffickers. It's a terrible crime. Again, to me, it's a crime against humanity. You can sit there and say, oh, well, they shouldn't have brought their kids here legally, or they shouldn't have been here legally. Well, I don't care. I don't care if they're here illegally, legally. I don't care. I don't care if they rode a damn horse all the way up from El Salvador to the U.S. border by themselves. I don't care. These are children. You don't treat them like cattle. You don't treat them like they're piles of nothing. These are children. I don't care what country they came from. I don't care if they're illegal, as you want to call them. I don't see how a child can be illegal, but okay. But that was just the tip of the iceberg. This is just the tip of the iceberg of what's been going on in the Trump administration. And it's sickening. And then Donald Trump sits there and blames Democrats, saying the Democrats are the reason for this law. There's no law requiring you to separate the children. That's the Trump administration. The parents should at least go through due process before they're separated from their children. Plain and simple. But the embarrassment doesn't stop there. The embarrassment continues. Back to the Obama administration, a president who I had quite a bit of respect for, still do, on a lot of issues. But his record on deportation and treatment of immigrants has always been a bit suspect. And it came out that from 2009 to 2014, several children were abused physically, verbally, and some sexually by Border Patrol agents. Their concerns were never taken seriously. They were never investigated fully. And this is also coming from the ACLU. And there's been a lot of talk over the years. There's been a lot of speculation of what happened to these kids. Because I've heard, smatterings of information occasionally about a kid being possibly being abused as they came across the border. Here's the thing. Just because somebody comes here and you don't like them being here, you don't want them crossing the border, has no reason to treat them like vile pieces of human waste. These kids and people do not deserve to be sexually abused, physically abused. One 16-year-old reported that he was thrown to the ground and beaten. Others were just physically harmed, hit, kicked, punched, thrown. As for the sexual abuse, there were apparently a few little girls, young girls, who were touched on their buttocks and their genitals by these Border Patrol agents. That's wrong, period. I don't care, once again, I do not care if they're illegal, as you want to call them. I don't care what country they came from. I don't care if you want to kick all the Mexicans out of the country. I don't care if you don't want anyone crossing our borders. These are children. You do not harm children. The things that our Border Patrol has done in the name of security over the last decade is sickening. The things we do as a country in the name of security is disgusting. We allow kids to get molested. We allow kids to be beaten. We allow kids to be placed with sex traffickers. We allow kids to be lost to the tune of 1,500 children. Yet we do nothing. We sit here and want to blame immigrants and illegal aliens for all our woes in this country when we're creating our own. A $1.4 trillion tax cut to billionaires. That is damage we're doing on our own. Sure, some of those companies that got those tax breaks did good. Many of them did not. Many of them gave their money back to the shareholders, and that was it. Didn't hire new people or anything. Many of them offered bonuses to which they fired the people that would get the bonuses. So, there's that. We sit there and act like we have no money to take care of these kids or help these children. But we do. If we have $1.4 trillion to give to billionaires who don't freaking need the money, then we have the money to take care of these children and treat them properly. Say what you want, and I don't really care. I don't care what you have to say. I really don't. These are children. Case closed. You do not harm children. You do not sexually abuse children. You do not physically abuse them. You do not verbally abuse them. Case closed. These children come from terrible backgrounds a lot of times. A lot of the people that are trying to come to this country, especially from south of the border, are coming here to try and get away from something. Their parents are trying to bring them here from violence and potential death sentences for where they're living. You've got all sorts of violence taking place from places like Venezuela and things like that, the stuff that's taking place there, along with a bunch of other stuff going on, gang violence and stuff like that in different parts of South America and Central America. These parents are just trying to bring their kids here to make them safe. And I think if we're going to call ourselves a Christian nation, which we're clearly not, but if you want to call yourself a Christian nation, we have to stand up for what's right, and we have to stand up for human rights, and we have to take care of these kids. I don't care if you want to call them illegal, undocumented, whatever you want to call them. If you want to punish the parents, fine. I don't think it's reasonable to sit there and think that the immigrants are causing our problem, because they're not. But you think what you will on that. But if you want to hurt children for the name of security, I'm not in on that. I didn't sign that contract. As an American, this offends me to no end. I'm not one that's easily offended, but you start harming children, and you lose my support. Somebody was like, well, it doesn't matter, right? Obama did it. No, it does matter. It does matter. It doesn't matter if Obama was president. I don't give a damn who was president. People seem to think just because I voted for Obama, I supported everything he did. No, I simply supported him more than the other options. Do I think President Obama was the best president ever? No. Do I think he may have been one of the two best presidents in my lifetime? Yes. Does that mean he's one of the greatest ever? No. The presidents of my lifetime don't leave a lot to pick from. Reagan, Bush, Clinton, Bush, Obama, and now Trump. So no, I don't give a damn if it was Obama. I don't care if it was Trump. I don't care if it was Clinton. I don't care who it is. Abuse of children for the sake of security is uncalled for and unnecessary. If you think it's okay to sit there and treat children this way, then you need to go back and rethink who you are as a person. If we as Americans are going to allow this to take place, the separating of children, the abuse of children, the potential loss of children, the potential placement of children with sex traffickers, if we're going to allow that as Americans, we need to go back and rethink our values. If you think it's okay to be treating kids this way simply because their parents brought them here and they're viewed as illegal immigrants, if you think that gives us the right to treat them like trash, then you've got a problem. America has a problem. I love this country. This is my home. I see America as one of the best places on the face of the earth. But there are times that we do things that are just wrong. This is one of them. So all I can say about this is if you see something, say something. Because we can't allow this to keep happening. Just because these people are here, undocumented or illegally, doesn't mean they should be treated like dirt. They're humans too. And children should never be abused. I'm sorry. End of story. This is not Russia. This isn't parts of the world where we allow child abuse. This is America, where we're supposed to take care of the children. We're supposed to view children as the future. Anyhow, like I said at the beginning, this is not a happy topic. It's not a topic that makes me happy to be American and embarrasses me. It's an embarrassment. And something has to be done. So I'd like to thank USA Today and the ACLU for bringing these things to light. Now the thing is with the stuff from 2009, 2014, we have a lot of accusations and a lot of claims based on the ACLU finding around looking at about 30,000 pages of documents. But we have no convictions, so it's all hearsay. They're accusations. Now, I think we need to fully investigate this and find out how many of them are true. Find out what Border Patrol agents perpetrated these kind of abuses on children. And they should be fired and they should be put in jail. If you sexually abused and physically abused children, you need to go to jail. Plain and simple. Now, the yelling, the verbal abuse, I don't know what to say about that. I don't think it's right, but I don't know if you can put them in jail for that. But thanks to those two organizations, the ACLU for bringing the abuse accusations to light, as well as USA Today and others for posting the story about how we're separating children and we've lost 1,500 of them. Anyhow, I hope you'll have a great day. Hope you had a great weekend. This has been The Big Ranch Show. I've been your host, Jacob Keck, and I'll see you down the road.